Hi, I'm Valerie Davis, CEO of Assembly North America, and I'm here at Cannes in the Stagwell Content Studio, and I'm here joined by Emma Vaughn, who is Head of Global Partnerships and Business Development.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so
for
happy
joining
to be
me.
here.
I'm so glad to have a quick conversation with you, so thank you for having us, or being here, I should say. Listen, Spotify has played a key role in developing the audio advertising ecosystem, particularly in the technology that underpins this ecosystem. Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the innovation that Spotify is focused on tied to audio ad tech?
Absolutely. And this is one of the areas that I'm most excited about. First of all, thank you so much for having me here today. As you mentioned, Spotify is really, really investing in audio ad tech and in transforming what the ad space looks like for audio across the board. And I think as a company, we're more invested than ever in advertising. And with 515 million monthly active users, we have the opportunity to really transform what audio ad tech looks like. So some of the things that we're announcing here, for example, is Spotify Analytics, so that brands and advertisers can really measure the impact of their audio ad. And that's something that we're super excited about because
As am I.
Yes. I mean, it's transparency and attribution. That's where it's at. And that's something that is like, this is the first iteration and we're going to keep evolving that product and it's going to get better and better. So that's something I'm super excited about. We've also launched new products like broadcast to podcast. We acquired a company called Wooshka about a year ago from Australia that had that broadcast to podcast technology, so the publishers could seamlessly turn their broadcasts into a podcast to create more of that supply and more of that content. So we've launched that, which we're super excited about. Obviously, we've invested in AI technology. We launched the AI DJ that, and actually the voice of the DJ is here with us at Cannes, which is really exciting. But what we found, and we've partnered with outside agencies to look at the impact of AI on creative. And we found that actually creatives overall are really favorable of AI if done in the right way. So we're investing in that space and we want to do it in a really measured way that like adds to the industry and helps evolve audio in general. So I'm really excited about it. We've got incredible talent. Our growth in the number of engineers that we've invested in, ad tech engineers, and there are only so many really phenomenal ad tech engineers. And in the last year has been high double digits. We are building out a self-serve platform that already exists today, but some of the stuff that you're going to see announced over the coming 12 months, I'm super excited about. So overall, it's great.
I will tell you, in my conversations with all of our Spotify reps, I've been excited about everything they've been talking about, and you can see the investment. So thank you so much for doing that. Spotify is amazing at connecting and engaging with consumers through the headphones, if you will. And you do it through unique creative partnerships and collaborations with brands. Can you give us an example of something that is truly cool and groundbreaking?
Absolutely. And I think what you said is also so key, because what I find really unique is that ability to also be foreground, background. And that's something that we are really focused on, because through the headphones is the primary, and we're invested in video, and I always say, but it's audio first. But to have that flexibility as a consumer and as a brand for the foreground and background experience. An example of it is like our partnership with Disney Plus, where basically you're going to get, as a consumer, customized playlists depending on your behavior from Disney Plus content. But also, if you want to look, you're going to get kind of a drop down as a free tier that you can then actually engage with and click through and continue that experience. And so that's what we want to make sure that the person who is listening passively is engaged in this Disney Plus experience with them, and they're getting their customized Disney Plus playlist, and they're getting recommended certain songs from their Disney Plus consumption behavior. But if they want to engage deeper, they've got something in the foreground experience that they can tap into and go in deeper.
That sounds awesome. It's foreground, background, surround sound to me.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Exactly.
All right. So last question for you. I know you want to get back to a lot of the Cannes fun. I know I do too. But what would your advice be to brands or publisher marketers who want to amp up their audio advertising strategies? And what are the watch outs?
Yeah. So what I would say is this space, they experiment, in that we are developing new formats and new capabilities every day. And it not just us, the whole ecosystem. It is moving so quickly. And so I think it's a unique way to resonate with consumers. And as I said in the beginning, it's like the focus on transparency and attribution. That is what we're focused on. And so we are developing better and better tools. But I think that actually we haven't even scratched the surface of how it actually ends up impacting and what the behavior looks like for that consumer. And so experiment, whether it's host reads, whether it's banners, whether it's more interactive experiences like what I just described with Disney Plus. I think that really experimenting with some of our like new products, and not just us, but across the industry, is something that I think is really important because it catches people at different points in their consumption behavior. So it's like what I was saying before, it's the passive or the active engagement, and it's a different consumer experience, and different ad products lend themselves to different experiences with audio, it's very unique. So what I would say is, if you're used to just buying the kind of 30-second spot, maybe look at like what the podcast host read feels like, or like what the overlay banner, when you don't think of Spotify as a foreground experience, but it can be. So like mixing up that kind of buy and package to see what works best for your brand.
It sounds to me like just creating an authentic, connected experience. And to your point, beyond Spotify, but just really people are loyal to experiences, and that's awesome.
Exactly.
Well, Emma, thank you so much for joining me in the content studio for Stagwell, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.